Hey there. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you 10 brands or styles of hats that sold for a ton of money. Hey, I'm Lee Meyer, and I'm the founder of Listing of Freedom and the Empowered Reseller. And I help clothing resellers make more money without hustling harder. Let's get started. All right, so before we go ahead and jump on into the brands and styles of hats that are selling for loads of money, I want to invite you to grab my best brands list. Now, I've sold over $100,000 of net profit in used clothes, and I've compiled this list just for you. Inside, you're going to find all of the brands that I source and sell on a regular basis. The link to grab that free resource is below this video. You'll just enter your information and I will send you that free list instantly. The first brand that we're going to cover in this video is a Resistal brand hat. This is a very big name in the cowboy and Western hat world. It is made in Texas, and inside of the band, around the band of the hat, is where you're gonna find the brand name, and it'll look like this. And this particular hat went on auction for over $200. Number 2 on this list is a baseball style hat by a brand called Logo Athletic. Now, these hats are geared around sports teams. Now, I don't know a lot about sports teams. I'm not going to claim to be a sports fanatic or sports fan or sports enthusiast by any means, but these hats are very easy to recognize. These that are selling for a few $100s are what are called a shark's tooth style. It looks like this, where you'll see a big shark's teeth pattern across the front of the hat. And this Los Angeles Raiders hat sold for $350. The third hat I have for you is a brand by the name of Jack McConnell. Now, these are women's vintage hats, and the hats are easy to recognize because the labels inside are black and white. They will say either Jack McConnell Boutique or styled by Jack McConnell. Now, interestingly, some of the tags, some of the labels will have a red feather behind them. And the story behind that is that the hats with the red feather are said to have received the personal attention of the designer Jack McConnell. This Jack McConnell hat went for $134.99. The fourth hat I have for you on this list is a vintage trucker style hat. Now, this particular hat is by the brand Skoll that makes tobacco products, and this hat sold for over $100, even with a broken bill. With these type of hats, you'll want to look for unique designs, humor, and brands that you recognize, such as Boeing and Panasonic. Oh, and the inside of the hat may not have much by the way of labels. Number 5 is another big player when it comes to cowboy and Western hats, and that is the brand Stetson. This Stetson hat with beads sold for $225, and this one with feathers sold for $139. You will find the Stetson name on the inside of the hat band as well as at the top of the crown, and oftentimes along the hat band, you will also find the name of the store or the shop where that hat was sold. Now, if you're loving this video so far, I think you're also gonna love my free best brands list. Again, the link to grab that free resource is below this video. So let's go ahead and move on over to item number 6. The 6th hat I have for you in this video is a vintage Pan Am Airlines stewardess hat. Now, this hat went for $590 after 29 bids while on auction. This hat is by a designer of the name May Hanauer. This is an example of a unique hat, and it pays to keep your eyes open for these recognizable brands and ones that are particularly vintage style. Number 7 are construction hard hats, particularly vintage by the brands Bethlehem Steel or Bullard. Now, the inside of these hats, especially with the Bullard brands, do have a removable harness of what holds the hat in place on the head, and so that can be removed and taken out. So it is possible that while you're outsourcing, you may come across hard hats without this in them. I would still recommend picking those up. These type of hard hats sell for $150 to $200. 8th on the list is a hat brand by the name of Helen Kaminsky. Now this is an Australian hat brand, but it can be found worldwide for those of you US sellers like myself. These hats range new for in the $200 to $300 price range. So it's no surprise that a hat like this Helen Kaminsky in used condition would sell for $162. You will want to look for what is a raffia seed logo. This will be on the outside of the hat as well as on that inside label. 9th on this list is vintage military hats. Now these can be from the US as well as many other countries. And with these hats, the older the hat is, the more valuable it's going to be. For example, the Civil War era hat sold for $400. Now this is going to be a pretty rare find, but you should be able to come across World War I, World War II, Vietnam, Korean era hats. And these can still sell for quite a bit of money, like this World War II hat that went for $250. All right, so are you ready for number 10? It is a big one. I have saved the best for last. Now this is a Louis Vuitton hat that sold for $1,600 with just 3 bids. Now this is a pretty rare find, but I do want to leave you with this, that the people finding these types of items are the people who are out there going sourcing. They're the ones who are leaving their house, going and looking for the items, and you will be rewarded when you source. With that, I'd like to invite you one last time to go ahead and grab my free brands list. Again, the link to grab that free resource is below this video. Thanks for watching and see you soon.